Welcome to Wines du Jour. We're in a little town just south of Las Vegas, Nevada called Henderson. And in Henderson is a brand new and very successful bakery and sweet shop called Gimme Some Sugar. This place is phenomenal. People are flocking over here to this place. It is a new business. Two best friends from Oregon decided that they liked sweets, that they were very good at baking cakes and also making great desserts. And so they came to Las Vegas and opened up here in Henderson. Tonight we're going to also feature not only 3 products from Gimme Some Sugar, but also 3 wines as we normally do. The first one is going to come to us from the Piedmont or Piemonte area, which is a northwest part of Italy, but in the little county or region of Piemonte, in the southeast section is a town called Asti. And in Asti, they started making and producing some beautiful sparkling wines. So they come up with Asti or Di Asti or Asti Spumante, and we'll talk about that during the show. Then we're going to do 2 beautiful dessert wines from one of my favorite wineries in California that does only dessert wines. That is Quaddy. Now, Andrew Quaddy has been a friend for many years. I lived in Fresno, California for a long, long time, and his winery is up in Madera, which is just north of Fresno. And he's been doing wine since 1970. So we'll tell you more about his. He has 2 beautiful Muscat grapes that he grows. First, an orange Muscat and a black Muscat. So, you know, in Italy it's called Moscato. There's different names for it. We'll talk about that during the show. I want to introduce you to my guest this evening. She is part owner, one of the 2 owners here at Gimme Some Sugar. So follow me and we'll show you where she is.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just 1 receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.
Welcome back to Wines du Jour. We're here at Gimme Some Sugar. What a neat name for a bakery dessert shop. You know what? This is not just a place where they make beautiful cakes and beautiful desserts. but you can also come in and get a glass of wine or a glass of champagne. That is very unique. I don't know about what area you live in, but I don't know if this started out up in Oregon, or if it's something that they decided to do once they came down from Oregon to Las Vegas. My guest this evening is Ashley Mastowski. She's sitting next to me, and very happily so, because she's been working her fanny off, if you know what I mean, all day, and a chance to sit down for a little while is a good thing. And tonight we have some beautiful food, as you can see, from Gimme Some Sugar, and we're going to pair it with some great wines. The first wine is a semi-sparkling wine. I know that sounds like a weird name, semi-sparkling wine, but it truly is. It is just lightly sparkles, just a few bubbles, if you will, not a lot. Not designed to be that way. It comes from the Piemonte or Piedmont area, and you probably know that Piedmont is in the northwest part of Italy, and in the Piedmont region, in the southeast corner, is a little town that you probably didn't realize. The name of it is Asti. So you've heard of Asti Spumante, you've heard of all kinds of different things where they use the name Asti. That's where they originally came from, so that's where it is. However, a lot of the Muscat grapes are grown in the southern part of Italy. And as you know, I'm sure, the southern part of Italy is much drier, much hotter than the northern part. Now in Asti or Piemonte area, it snows, they have all the 4 seasons and so on, so they have to worry about growing grapes a little different than they would in the southern area where 364 days out of the year it's pretty warm, you know what I'm saying? So it's a whole different method of growing the grapes. But you know what? It's the same grape, and when they squeeze the juice out of it, the taste is mostly the same based on the terroir that the grape was grown in. That means if it was grown in Asti, that same Muscat or Moscato is going to taste a little different than that Moscato from southern Italy. I know it sounds crazy, but it goes the same way if it's from Spain or if it's from France or what have you. So the neat part is the food is going to pair very well with it. So let's pour a little bit of this. Ashley, tell us a little bit about what you put together to pair with this Asti.
We actually have our tropical teas dessert, and it is Malibu soaked coconut jacquard, and there is passion fruit and passion fruit curd and some mango in it.
Ah, mango. You know, when you start talking about mango and almonds and so on, and you're talking about something that has some bubbles like this Asti. This is Rista Moscato. Moscato being the name of the grape, Risto being the winery in Asti in the northwest part of Italy, in the Piemonte area. Let's taste this and see what you think. Well, it's a sweet wine designed to be so. It's a dessert wine. So I think if we have a chance to taste it, I'm going to ask you if you'll take a taste of ours, and then I'll also follow you.
Sure.
But this is it's dry, but it's sweet. And I know I tell people you can't have sweet, dry wine because dry is on one end of the spectrum and sweet is on the other. Well, I'm just telling you, this is a dry, sweet wine. Moscato is just naturally sweet. Taste it, see what you think. Taste the two together. Boy, this is just beautiful stuff. And this is the way everything is here at Gimme Some Sugar. So let me tell you, if you are in the Las Vegas area, more specifically in Henderson, make sure you come by and check out Gimme Some Sugar. You're going to go crazy with what the selections are. Oh, yeah. Isn't that good? Try
it's fantastic. I just that's fantastic.
Folks, I have to tell you, there are some people that say, I don't do desserts. Shame on you. Now, if there's a medical reason, that's a different story. But boy, if you had an opportunity to taste some of these together, you would say, I've got that. I'll have the steak and then I'll go right to dessert. Or some people come in and order dessert first, so they don't miss out. They don't want to be too full, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we've got to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about item number 2 on the dessert list, and we're going to talk about something not from Italy, but from Madera, California. Namely, Quaddy Winery's Essentia. That's an orange muscat grape. I'll tell you about that when we come back. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.
Welcome back. Before we went to a break, I mentioned something about Quaddy Winery in Madera, California. Well, if you don't know exactly where Madera is, it's 16 miles north of Fresno. Fresno is almost dead center of California on the east side of California as opposed to the central coast, which is along the Pacific Ocean. I have to tell you, Andrew Quaddy, has been doing this since 1970. But more particularly, he went to this orange muscat because muscat grapes, there is a black muscat, which we're going to taste a little later, and an orange muscat. Well, in Italy they call it Moscato, but it's actually in America we just call it muscat. And I have to tell you, muscat grapes are grown all over, but in the San Joaquin Valley, where Madera and Fresno is located, there is more grapes grown there than anywhere else in the whole world. Now, that's not to confuse you with growing grapes for wine. Most of the grapes that are grown in the San Joaquin Valley are table grapes. So, it only stands to reason that muscat would be one of those table grapes. When you go to the store, if you get a nice orange grape as opposed to a yellow or a white grape, as opposed to a black grape, then you know that orange Moscato is what you're about to take home and taste with a little cheese and watch TV or have a glass of wine, whatever the case may be. But Andrew takes this and makes this beautiful wine. He calls it Essentia. And Essentia, actually he started making the orange one not in 1970, but in 1990. Because all up until that time, he was making mostly port wines and the one that we're going to have next, which is called Elysium. So let's don't confuse it. Let's stay with Essentia. The orange muscat grape is going to pair well with what?
We have got our vanilla bean cheesecake with Grand Marnier macerated strawberries.
Okay, well let's try it. You take a taste, I'll take a taste. Well, let me pour some of this first before we do anything. Now, you know that dessert wines are not poured the same amount as regular wines. You normally get about 1.5 ounces of wine as opposed to 5 ounces that you would get if you ordered a Chardonnay or a Cabernet. And it's because it's so sweet. 5 ounces is a lot. So 1.5 ounces or so to compare with this cheesecake, which I'm dying to try, is going to be, I think, a perfect thing. So I'll try this one and you try that. Well, that's good cheesecake, and it's not from New York.
No, straight from Henderson.
There you go. Taste those together. Very, very nice combination. Well, the good thing about Essentia is that it has, fortified wine. This is considered, dessert wine is considered a fortified wine in terms of high end with alcohol. This particular wine, Essentia, has about 15% alcohol. That's on the top end of the low bracket for taxes. When you get over 16, you go to bracket number 2, and that literally is fortified wine. I didn't mention to you, but fortified wine is something that is what they've done is they've made the wine and then they fortified it by adding some clear brandy. That's usually what they normally add to that. So it's more of an alcohol concept to raise the alcohol content to help offset the amount of sugar that's in it. So you've got a nice sweet one, but you don't want a lot of it because the alcohol is high, number one, and number two, a little bit of sweet's wonderful. Too much sweet is not so wonderful. You agree with that?
Agreed.
Now you and your partner came all the way down here from Oregon, and I know you went to college together up there.
Yep.
Did you think about a bake shop when you were buddies there, or is that something that you decided to do after you guys graduated?
We decided after we graduated. Just we're great friends and just decided we wanted to be. Graduated, went separate ways, and then from there we just kind of wanted to be our own bosses, and I saw the talent that she had on cakes and from the pastry side of things, and just figured it was a no-brainer. So
yeah, well, you know, what's really funny here is that when you come in, and Ashley would probably be at the front of the store where Kristen is in the back doing the cakes and so on. She has, you know, there's people that are talented that way, just natural. Well, this is a natural with a lot of talent. She does such beautiful cakes. If you want anything special, cake-wise, if you're having a party or, you know, like Christmas parties or anniversaries or birthdays or whatever the case may be, Gimme Some Sugar is definitely the place to go in Henderson, Nevada. I don't know if you ship them anywhere or not, but I can tell you what, it would be worth the trouble to ship it from here to wherever the heck it is you live and try it, because the cakes are spectacular. The desserts are spectacular. And if you're lucky enough to have a little bit of each and maybe a little bit of wine to go with it, how bad can that possibly be? Huh?
Not bad at all.
So orange muscat for the Essentia, and that is for Quaddy, and this is a 2012. And I know you're going to ask me, how much do you pay to have a bottle? It's about $26. What I didn't mention to you a moment back is the Rista Moscato is about $14 a bottle. Pretty good. And the next one that we're going to talk about, I'll tell you the price on that. We've got to go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the desserts. And I have to tell you, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and we just haven't had the third one yet. And we're going to go from an orange Moscato to a black Moscato. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages. Welcome back. We are having a great time here at Gimme Some Sugar, a beautiful new bake shop and dessert center in Henderson, Nevada, which is just south of Las Vegas. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I want to say it again because some people don't know exactly where Henderson is. There are people that call Henderson the bedroom community of Las Vegas, but Henderson people don't necessarily like to hear that because they feel like they're self-sustained, if you will, and they are. Beautiful place. When I first moved here back in the late 70s, this was just somebody's idea. It was a crossroads. Now it's a very large area. It could easily be its own county. That's how big it is. The good part is the people are wonderful. And we have people like Ashley here that has Gimme Some Sugar, and it's a place to come visit, just to go to their store, if nothing else. When you come in here, you can look at some items that are that are chilled, if you will, and you can see items that are not chilled. You can also, as I mentioned earlier, order a glass of wine. Now, we're not talking about $4.99 for a gallon of wine. We're talking good quality wine to go with good quality desserts. So you don't have to worry about it. And if you're not too sure about a particular wine on the wine list, ask Ashley or one of her staff. They'll be more than happy to tell you all about it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about number 3, Black Muscat or Moscato. This is called Elysium by Quaddy, which is in Madeira, as I mentioned. I want you to taste it. Take a look at this beautiful color. It is very, very nice, very, very tasty, and it's also very sweet because it's a dessert wine. So 1.5 ounces is about what you'd want to pour as opposed to 5 ounces like I mentioned earlier. I wrote down a few things that this goes with in addition to the dessert that we've got here at Gimme Some Sugar. I'll talk about that in just a second. Let me give you some ideas. Now this Black Muscat is great with cheeses. In fact, if you like blue cheese, yeah, and most people do, Roquefort if you will, blue cheeses and Black Muscat is a very good combination. Also, this goes well when dessert-wise with custards. Now, you don't know too much about custards maybe, but used to be a lot of people made custards for dessert at home for the family, but it seems to have kind of gone away. So check your cookbook and get a recipe out and try a little custard. Run down to your local store and get a little Quaddy, Quaddy Elysium, and you'll be very, very happy that you did. Great combination. Also, it goes well not only with blue cheeses, but also creamy cheeses. So if you have any of those like Camembert, that type of thing, very, very good. And anything that has a vanilla flavor from dessert-wise, if it has vanilla in it, that goes so well with the Elysium. Now, I wanted to mention something about the first item that we had, which was the Arista Moscato coming to us from Italy. And I just have to tell you that this particular style of spumante, or asti if you will. Now spumante, incidentally, in Italian, if you convert it to English, this means sparkling, you know, like champagne or sparkling wine. So Asti Spumante means that it comes from Asti region, which is in the Piedmont area, and Spumante means that it has some bubbles in it, or sparkling. Pretty cool, huh?
Very cool.
That's good.
Very cool.
Okay, I want to mention one other thing. This goes extremely well with chocolate. Now, when we talk about chocolate in food, we normally do not talk about milk chocolate. Milk chocolate, we tend to use that for kids and making candy bars. But when you're talking about good quality chocolate, you're talking about bittersweet chocolate or some type of a good chocolate to go with something like this Elysium. What have you guys put together here? It looks great. Come in a little tube, if you will. What is this?
This is one of my all-time favorites. It's our raspberry Chambord mousse cup. So it's the chocolatey with a little bit of the raspberry taste. It's delicious.
All right. Well, when you talk about Chambord, that's one of the great little liqueurs, if you will. Raspberry is what it's made from. It's dark. It comes in a beautiful bottle all by itself. But you can have a little bit of that with coffee after dinner, or more importantly, have it with a little dessert after dinner if you're not going to have some Elysium. Let's taste this. You go first. I love these little forks. You know, there's no oysters here, but there's some there's some great little desserts that you want to taste out of the tube, if you will. No wonder it's your favorite. My God, that's delicious.
That pear is amazing.
And of course, a little Elysium doesn't hurt either.
No.
But this mousse is just like velvet. It's like a cloud in your mouth. It's done very well. Well, we already know she's great, but it's done very, very well. And if you have an opportunity to taste a little Elysium along with this Chambord mousse, how bad can that possibly be? Now, let's get back to the Asti for just a moment. There is two methods of making a sparkling wine. And we're talking about worldwide, not just in one particular part like in Champagne. As you probably know, in Champagne, France, there's a county or a region called Champagne. Like here in Las Vegas, we have Clark County, and it's called Champagne. There are some wonderful but very stringent laws in France. If you're in the Champagne region, you are only allowed to grow 3 types of grapes, 3 varietals: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, or Pinot Meunier. And any one of those 3 combined or individually, you can make a champagne with that. You cannot water your grapes. If Mother Nature doesn't put the water on your vines, it gets a little thirsty. And so they have actually discovered the root systems that some of those vines in Champagne are down at 140 feet in the ground. That's searching for something to drink, and that's serious if you know what I'm saying. But the method that they contrive to make this champagne is called Method Champenoise. It's a French name, sounds kind of sexy, I guess, but it's just a method of fermentation on the second level. Well, there's another method, as I told you there were two, the other method called the Charmat process. The Charmat process does not do the second fermentation, it only does the first one. So they get different flavors and so on with the Charmat or the bulk process, and that's what the Asti is all about. So that's what they make in Asti, the Piedmont region, and you know that there are some products in the stores with the Charmat method. And I have to tell you, not in our case with the Rista Moscato, but with some of the lesser expensive sparkling wines, they actually have plastic corks as an example. If it has a plastic cork, my recommendation is to leave it in the store. Let the manager of the store take it home and try it there. You know, I think it's important to have one of the owners tell you about their store. Gimme Some Sugar is a beautiful place in Henderson, but I'm going to ask Ashley to tell us a little bit about it. Would you do that?
Absolutely. Me and my best friend started this about 5 years ago doing custom cakes. And we just wanted to expand and really showcase our pastry talent that we have for our team. So we have decided to open a bake shop. So we're about 3 months old, and we have nice fancy plated desserts. We also have cupcakes, cookies, brownies, and we're open at noon 6 days a week. And Tuesday through Thursday we are closed at 10 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays at midnight. And Sundays we close at 5. So we want to be that after show, after your dinner, date night, you know, night out with friends kind of place to come. You can also find us online at GimmeSomeSugarLV.com.
Very good. Well, there's two things that you don't do at Gimme Sugar. Number one, you don't say, no, don't wrap that, I'll eat it here. You can do both. And number two, you don't say, that's too good, I can't take it home, I'm going to consume it while I'm here. Gimme Some Sugar is one that you need to check out. I think we should have a little toast. What do you think?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much for allowing us to come to your Gimme Some Sugar. Their hospitality here is impeccable. The people that work here know all about the desserts and so on, so you can feel comfortable coming here. Maybe have a glass of wine while you're waiting, because they have that as well. Thank you for watching Wines to Shore, and we'll see you next time.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.